I know that some people will say, finally, Labour Party may be on their way to getting it right. Well, why some people go say, hey, how much right can they get this situation? Because will Abure just rest and just allow things to happen like that? Welcome, my people. Another beautiful day for us to give an update for things that when they happen for inside the country. My name is Precious Ingi. Welcome to Update with Precious. And as usual, it's always an amazing experience to be with you to tell you things happening in the country. So the breaking news this afternoon is that the National Executive Council of the Labour Party, they don't decide, or the Nenadi Usman led Caretaker Committee, they don't suspend Julius Abure for all the things and way they do, especially gross misconduct. Things and way they say they do for inside the party. And this one, no matter where carry James well. If this matter goes successfully, what it go mean for the 2027 election when they come up and Peter Ameh? That na part of which we'll go discuss this afternoon. And then we move straight to other issues we get to do with Nnamdi Kanu. As courts don't admit videos where they show Nnamdi Kanu creating ESN, that is in Eastern Security Network, ordering lockdown in Southeast. They don't admit them as evidence. As they talk to you, they even play some of those videos what they call broadcast videos for courts to show, say, truly in do an act of terrorism. Well, now waiting them talk with that for court. But let's go. We'll dig into it and we'll see the truths and the cocoa inside that matter. But then another matter, it still get to do with a very dark man issue. Lawyer don't come out, come talk. Say, excuse me, court. I never see anything we get to do with details where Visa go secure the bail of very dark man. I mean, Vincent Ose. I never see anything where go is secure. And I never give me all the details what I need. As a lawyer, they lament, say, it did difficult for him to secure the bail condition we didn't give him. And then talking about Messi Chinwa and all of that, remember saying a part of things we've been there inside that very dark man matter. Well, another drama day on now because as it gets to do with in former manager Easy T, EFCC don't arena them, I mean they don't carry matter come out, they don't hold them down. And this time around, they can't even drop Messi Chinwa case or Messi Chinwa name for some of the charges where they put on top of his head. Well, let's go on to other issues very quickly. Tinubu's good performance, 9 days responsible for mass defection from APC to PDP. No vex, no stone me, not be me talking. They say now the wonderful and fantastically, not corrupt, fantastically, fantastically well performance of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, saying that waiting make people they defect from other parties to APC because he don't do too well. Wow. Okay, we'll move on. Now, remember, I tell you, say President Bola Ahmed Tinubu make a policy, say buy made in Nigeria, buy Nigeria to promote Nigeria. Wow. So I think Abubakar don't hold them now for secure one. They tell us, oh, guys, excuse me, Mr. President. If you know, say you love Nigeria so much and you want to also encourage us to buy Nigeria, start with your own. You see that Escalade, do it buy for yourself. Start with buying innocent. Carry that Escalade, sell them because it costs well. Then carry innocent motor they use for inside all your convoy. They will know say you're ready. Because country is very serious. Now, what did they do with that? Now. Oh yeah, if he show you, put innocent motor for inside your convoy. Yeah, you see the president adhering to that kind of advice we then give. Insecurity, Nigeria will revolt if action not taken. House of Rep members don't parody talk. Say, the way would they take people for granted for this Nigeria? People just they die. Would they do it like say no mean anything? Nigerians go revolt one day, they go stand up one day against us. So if we don't do anything about them more, now so House of Rep members and don't begin talk. Peter Ameh don't condemn corruption for inside governance. Say the corruption for inside government, it don't call for integrity for inside leadership. Say you don't reach time where be say people will go the lead us suppose get small at least integrity. They suppose get integrity. Now, speaking about ways to getting leaders, we get integrity. Federal government don't kick their legs. Say, we're not going to grow as part to tell me don't form shadow government. We're going to let you in on what that shadow government mean and how it take be. Federal government begins overhaul of NYSC scheme, plans teachers medical corps. Okay, we'll also look into that matter. Now it be say don't be. ECOWAS don't they talk about West Africa prohibitive airfares. And I get better, I get concerned about this whole thing. Why it be a flight operation for inside Africa generally? They're so expensive as against other regions across the world. Why it be say they like that? Well, joining me this afternoon to put eye for inside this matter and others. Now, man, what it be say is sabi well when it come to do with money matters. Now, man, we sabi in fact and figures well for money because himself, now person will be say him be one of the best financial analysts and persons then we will get. And then himself can sabi politics. Join them. Oga Shegun Shopito. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yes, my head is just swelling.
Oh,
Precious.
stop it. I like it.
Thanks
Stop
for
it. I
having
like
me.
it, sir. Thank you,
Well
sir.
done. Well done
Thank
for a
you.
fantastic job.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you for your support, your unalloyed support. You've been amazing. You and every other person who comes here. In fact, one day we'll go do all of us here will host a get together for
Yes,
all
so
the analysts.
yes,
Say, "Make
so
una carry this get together, eh? More than one
Precious
body."
fan club.
I know. I don't wish to get fans. I beg go at the shame.
Yes, now.
I'm too shy. All right, so where do we even begin? Because this matter it gets as it be, and it is so critical. We suppose we start am from somewhere, but where we go start this matter now? Okay, so make we start. Make it not be like say we ignore wetin dey happen with very dark man. Make we start with very dark man matter very quickly. So the lawyer to Martins Vincent or say very dark man Deji Adeyanju, he don't talk say e don dey hard for am. In fact, e don dey difficulty when they get to secure the release of a client from the custody of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC). Now, the EFCC, for inside a statement, we said they make through their publicity, media and publicity person daily. Then talk say yesterday Tuesday say the man very dark man say they don't grant him administrative bail, but say he remain for custody until he fulfill the bail conditions. However, as Oyewole talk am, he say they invite him for questioning over multiple petitions from serious financial crimes, so alleging serious financial crimes. Now, Oyewole say the young man, very dark man, was arrested after after he don't continuously fail to honor repeated invitations where he said they don't give him. However, um, he said the EFCC na law abiding place and said they will always do their work. Now, reacting to this matter, Adeyanju wey be in lawyer, can't take to his social media handle, can't say him be one of the legal team. He said the legal team still they find them hard, difficult to access the documents where they detail the breakdown of the bail condition. I don't want to they talk this kind of things because it is very embarrassing. Why it be say every time we will do things for Nigeria like this, it dey like saying like buju style now they use do things. Now it can't stress say he stress on the repeated efforts to get the documents that has been unsuccessful. Saying don't try well to get documents. Lawyer to person well on a hold they try to get documents for the bail condition we on don't give you don't even figure the documents. I don't understand. But moving further, it can't say bail granted. VDM said media bail, as we are yet to receive any bail documents from the commission. We have made several repeated demands in this regard since yesterday when we were informed about the decision, but we never see anything yet. Now, addressing circumstances leading to VDM's arrest, in some sections of the media, Oyewole pointed out that the arrest was legal and not a retaliation on waiting a talk, say the young man don't talk before. But a lot of people don't condemn, especially the style where EFCC use go about this thing what they do in terms of the style of the arrest and the style of apprehending someone. People they even complain, say why it be safe for Nigeria they first of all arrest before they investigate. Because right now EFCC also mentioned yesterday say once proper investigation finish say they go come carry and go court. I bet man are not vex. Say those of us we don't live for place we get sense. Not be say Nigeria no get sense. But those of us we don't live for place we get sense, I beg no vex. Not be say that they investigate first before they arrest you. Like they do hush puppy where they cool down, target them, investigate them, get all the things where they want from them first before they arrest them. Not be so that they do first. Abi they arrest person first, can't detain you, torture you well first. Now from the torture, now they can't get case where they go can't use the arraign you. Not vex, sir. I beg get post put match for the matter before we enter Labour Party and then Nnamdi Kanu case, sir.
I mean, look, this the way you are putting it is so funny. But you're absolutely right. It's crazy. I was saying it on TV. I was on a live TV program this afternoon, and I was saying it like this is abnormal. If you want to arrest somebody, if somebody has done something wrong, you receive a petition, whatever. The first thing your job as a law enforcement agency is to investigate, is to gather evidence such that the day you pick him up like this, when you finish your evidence, then your lawyers, your prosecutors in that agency will look at all the evidence that the investigators have gathered. There are different sections in law enforcement now. They have their own legal team. So
Yes.
the investigative team, the operational team, the field team, you work together. You gather all the evidence regarding the misdemeanor, the offense, the crime committed by the person. Your lawyers will now look at that evidence, juxtaposed against the law and see whether this evidence is sufficient to convict the person. It is only when you have enough, not just having evidence, so you must have enough evidence to secure conviction. That is the only time that you're supposed to go for arrest. The only exception to that rule is if the person's presence and maybe some sort of interrogation and all of that will now be required as a part of the final evidence that you need. Then you can now pick that person up, interrogate the person and take whatever statement the person make and now add it to the evidence you have already gathered. So in such an instance, you say, okay, well, everything is not ready yet, but we need him on record to have said he did this or he didn't do this, blah, blah, blah. And then you now arrest and do that.
So that means
Otherwise,
that
there's
means waiting EFCC they do now. It be like say they take medicine before then go get
before
malaria.
they're sick,
They take the
they are
medicine, go
taking
peace,
medicine.
they go soon sick. Ew.
Or they put a horse. A horse is supposed to drag a cat behind it. You tie a cat to a horse, and then you beat the horse. The horse will start moving, and thereby dragging the cat with it. They put the cat in front. They now tie it to the horse, and they are beating the cat and saying the cat will start moving, whether it will start dragging the horse. It's crazy. So everything that we do in this country is kind of upside down. We do it contrary to standard practices in other parts of the world, and this is just ridiculous. If they don't have evidence against Very Dark Man, he needs to be released. Unfortunately, this is also the kind of country where you can go to court and secure a remand order. So according to EFCC, they've secured a remand order to hold Very Dark Man while they investigate. It's really, really unfortunate. And I think we just need to continue to speak against this until we stop this practice. Today is VDM. I don't support him. I don't hate him. I don't like him. I'm completely neutral. He's doing what he believes he needs to do in society. He has a lot of fans. Some
In
people
the
will
way we
argue that
want
he's
to
doing some good work. Some people will argue that he's doing, good work for society. I have no opinion. I'm not saying this because I support or I don't support BDM. I'm just saying this is the right way. The right way to do things is the way we must continue to do things. And what the EFCC is doing in this case is horrible. Why did they not do this for Yaya Bello? Why didn't they pick Yaya Bello and then start investigating? In fact, Yaya Bello visited their office. The guy
Yeah, so
was
take
wanted.
pictures, sef. Take
Hey,
pictures, sef.
the guy had a wanted poster all over Nigeria on social media. He was wanted, declared wanted by EFCC. But he went to their office. While he was wanted by EFCC, he went to the EFCC office, took pictures, took pictures in the premises, took pictures in the office, and went back again. Yaya Bello did that. Why are they now flexing muscle? Because it's Very Dark Man. So this practice of having two laws for two different types of people in this country, I think it's about time that we stop we stop this nonsense.
Okay, so if they one thing where they also they shock me well because reports will come out this afternoon carry and say the DSS don't detain that Atiku Issa Abubakar. I don't know whether you remember him. Now that Nance
Mhm,
president will come talk say
mhm, mhm.
Sheyi do this one, do that one, beat them, brutalize them, and all of those. Say even talk say some people where they close to Sheyi talk say they go buy him, say nothing go happen, they go kill him and nothing go happen. Say they go even tell the IG of police to bury the matter if they kill him. And as an evidence to the fact, say truly he was beaten, whether by anybody close to Sheyi or not, there are evidences of injuries. So he be saying sustained. I don't know whether you don't see some of those
I
wound
saw it. I saw it very
you
well.
see face with that. So news just the break out now to talk say DSS don't invite him and say they don't detain him while in the hospital bed. According to what I see right now for Sahara reporters, if that's not true, what this thing mean? The kind of star where would they go now? This is a young man. For the purpose of those who miss waiting in talk, now person will accuse the son of the president of high-handedness, if I have to call it that way. That is say, he carry in hand anyhow. On the way we be say chook mouth put for inside National Association of Nigerian Students, the matter. And then he come for when they doing inauguration to come harass am, carry people. In fact, first of all, they even kidnap am. Make I just play a little bit except of waiting in
Was
talk. When
invited to Lagos
Nigerians
to meet with
remember
Sheyi.
that's waiting
I
they
met with
happen and
Sheyi and the
how they
Minister
don't
for
call up
Youth.
now.
The Minister for Youth, when he saw me, he hugged me in Lagos. We talked, and I was to be offered 100 million naira. But the thing is, it's not all about money. There are things which I stand for. You cannot ask me to begin to promote a president that who has not done something for me to say he has done it. If he does something good, I will promote him. We will support him as the president and commander-in-chief. But where he is, you cannot say I should keep quiet. I won't do that. That we couldn't settle. And they felt that I'm being stubborn not to accept money and to come to Lagos without accepting money and going back. So they planned my abduction, and on the 15th, I was abducted. Of April, I was abducted, stripped naked, beaten seriously in collaboration with the MD of NTA. The MD of NTA, I was packaged to NTA to make involuntary statement that I am no longer, that I have renounced my position as NAN's president. I did that to gain my freedom. But immediately I released a press statement that I was forced, it was under duress, and because I was naked, I was beaten, they claimed that they will share the video. That Sheikh told them that they can share the video, nothing will happen. And that even if they kill me, he will order, that was the word Ladoja used. It is Ladoja that is telling me this, that he will instruct, yes, he will instruct the Inspector General of Police to cover it up. And if he doesn't do that, that he will go. So I now asked, even this morning when somebody was telling me that, you know who Sheyi is, I say, yes, Sheyi is an ordinary citizen like myself. He's not occupying any official position. I told them yesterday, I made it clear, that even if I'm coming to this hall and I'll be shot, I'll still come to this hall. At the end, today, the inauguration is concluded and I'm the NAN's president. I want Nigerians to know what has happened and that we are not going to give up and that Sheyi can do anything he wants to do. He's already in this hotel. This inauguration wouldn't have held. You can see the organization is not correct. See the way the things were
okay, so
done.
we also hear, so just to shorten we also hear, say immediately after that inauguration, where they talk this talk right now, say the 9 they beat and that the second phase of that beating where be say they beat them, where body swell up, and I waiting land them for hospital. So from exclusive reports where BC Sahara reporters carry right now, they say now since last week Tuesday, when he did hospital, they recover from this beating. 9 DSS don't go carry and keep inside custody where he did hospital. Since last week Tuesday, according to I not talk about Sahara reporters, see I'm there about the month. I then talk and can Google them. They say his arrest, of course, come after Ibise he accused the president's son of disrupting the inauguration where Ibise gets. Now, this kind of thing, I beg, if not true. In fact, they say one DSS officer who spoke to Sahara reporters on condition of anonymity. DSS officer speak in anonymity. That is say, I know, not be me tell you. He talk say, Issa was forced to pose for a photo with a gun placed on his hand, intended to be used as a blackmail. Say they force him to pose for picture, carry gun, put for his hand, and say they plan to use that picture to use and blackmail and say himself not out, or maybe na him, you know, he accuse the president's son falsely. If this kind of thing not true, Mr. Sheku Shopito, what kind of society are we in, really? If this is true, what is going on?
I mean, it's the whole story is everything about the story is a reflection of how decadent our society has become. Everything about the story, including the Issa article himself. You know, first of all, how is that guy a NAN's president?
And
What school?
how is the other one announced president? The other one that
All of them. Yes,
the two of them.
yes.
How is that
The
one
two of
announced
them.
president?
How are they NAN's presidents? The two of them. What school are they attending? What course are they running? Is he a postgraduate student? Because that guy is not of undergraduate age. You know, that's another matter.
But you know, say there's some people where they go school for old age.
I know, but we want to know, you know, this idea of people who are working class age, who are fathers of grown-up children, being president of youth associations and organizations, I think is another thing that we need to redress and correct. National Association of Nigerian Students, typically in our day, when I was in school, you know, there were young people. There were young people, there were people of our age, and people in their early 20s, mid 20s, you know, and that's why you saw that there was a lot of fire. That's why, you know, we do a looter. We enter, we don't get sense because we're young, youthful exuberance. They are no sense. I'm telling you, there's no fear. You know, they fear police, you know, they fear soldier because you're a young man. You know, this one now, this Baba, is it this Baba that has children, that is taking of his wife and his children, that is going to go and lead Aluta? I say he has control of 40,000 Aluta forces. Which 40 million Aluta forces is he talking about? You know, so anyway, that's one thing. That's on the one side. Now, Seyi Tinubu was accused of this type of heinous, grievous, potential offense, alleged offenses. You know, he was accused of kidnap. He was accused of assault. These are criminal offenses that can send anybody to jail. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Quickly, I said, and this time around, did they like say more this thing, assault and kidnap, don't they even happen? Because according to this
So,
release today, they say
like
that the
they
young man
picked him
was
up again.
compelled. Yes, he was compelled to write the retraction letter. Then tell and make you write a retraction letter of waiting he talk before. Say now him really say him really intend to blackmail Seyi Tinubu. Do you understand? Remember when
I
Seyi Tinubu
understand.
responded to it, Seyi Tinubu said that this is a blackmail on his person. But it's interestingly, not be from this young man. I don't know whether you don't hear from another source, like some of us go don't hear. Not be only from him, not be him be the first person who will hear from, say, Sheyi they interfere for NANS, National Student Associations, the matter. You don't hear him before, I be saying they say in gets
Yeah,
something to do with their
yeah,
leadership.
yeah.
So now they
I
say they
mean,
force him to retract the letter. The source also adds, say he was arrested at the inauguration venue from DSF. Now they seize him. They seize his phone, even though his condition has improved now in the hospital. He has completed his medication, but they no agree release him.
I
They
mean,
no agree release
look,
him. They hold them down.
it's crazy. So Sheyi Tinubu, the son of the president of the country, gets accused of these types of allegations, and instead of Sheyi Tinubu, you know, being invited, just invited, not and no arrest or anything. After all, he's the son of the president. He is entitled to some privileges anywhere in the world. He's the first son, first child. It's actually a title. Even in the United States of America, you know, it's a title, and they are actually entitled to security detail, contrary to what a lot of us might think. He's entitled to some, you know, SSS, because anybody that wants to compromise the country or compromise our president, if they pick up his child, then they have access to him. So you know, the state must protect him. So we understand that, but that does not put him above the law. So at the very least, because of the privilege he enjoys as the son of the president, he should have been invited by the police. By the police, not the EFCC, not DSS, by the police. Like somebody has made an allegation and an accusation against you that you kidnapped him and beat him up, assault, you know, grievous bodily harm. These are all technical language, you know, legal offenses in Nigeria. How come it is the person that is making the accusation that has now been arrested again for making the accusation? You know, it just shows how much of a joke, you know, the society that we run and we call a country is. Meanwhile,
But speaking to the interference,
yeah,
really, what could Sheyi Tinubu's interest be with Nance if truly in gets hand inside waiting that happen for Nance? Because remember, say the other faction of Nance, they talk say Sheyi Tinubu na the only Nance president we don't sorry, the only president some we don't stoop himself
yeah.
to come associate with Nigerian students. That means he's such a meek young man. But what could that meekness mean? We're waiting in the fine for Nigerian students, but we're making that
Okay,
student today. I want to understand
so
why is he interested in the leadership of Nigerian
for
students
me,
if
for me,
truly he's
for me, it's very
interfering?
simple. You know, in Lagos, his father, the playbook of the Lagos political hegemony, one of the fundamental parts of the playbook in Lagos is the Agbero. The Agbero phenomenon is a major part of the dominance and the continued control of the political machinery of Lagos State. Now, you can't have Agbero at the national level. They've tried it. They tried it in the early days. Last year, you know, Oluomo and all of those things. It can't have the same bite.
But Olomo is still carrying himself today as
Yes,
the
yes,
president
yes,
of the
yes,
NURTW. Even though say the other guy don't come and come talk, say he win and for court. Even the
absolutely.
appeal court will be the court of final
Yes,
jurisdiction for that case. The guy win, but Olomo still says he's the president.
sure.
So that means he's not obeying the rule of law.
Absolutely.
So what do we do?
Absolutely. And there's very little we can do until we're ready to do something. So now, yes,
Hey,
the point of
so people go just decide the kind of court case
we
where they
have
go
to be
listen to
ready
law.
to do something as a people. Otherwise, all of these things will continue. So now, the point I'm trying to make is seeing how large Nigeria is, you need a force that is entrenched and spread across Nigeria geographically, all 36 states, including FCT. And the National Association of Nigerian Students is one such. You know, back in the day, NAS can shut the country down. If they call a protest, Nigeria will come to a halt. If the students all over the country decide that they're entering the streets, Nigeria will stop. So I think that this is simply, politicians, they plan far ahead. They plan many years ahead. This is 2027 politics already playing out and spilling over. This is 2027. What Sheyi is doing is building machinery for 2027 for his father on the one hand and for himself, for the ambition that we understand they are nursing for him to take over from Sanwo-Olu. So if you have control of, according to Atiku, Isa, if you have control of 40 million,
Of over
40 million.
youths. Wow,
I mean, just imagine.
That's a bulk vote.
Imagine if you have 1 million,
And remember
1
that the
million per
majority
state.
of our voting population are youth.
Yes, exactly. The people that really go out to vote are basically the youth, the very young, and the very old. The middle class, they are hustling for their children and their wives and their husbands. So the young ones and the old ones are the ones that really form the bulk of the voters. So if you control the NANS machinery, then you control a large force that you will gain votes from and that you can use to whatever else you want to do, whether manipulate, whether to snatch it and grab it and run away with it, and all those types of things. You need a force of people to do it. So I think that that's what we're seeing playing out. This is all power grab and a part of the state capture machinery to ensure that all bases. Look, what the political system is doing now is that they're covering all bases. Judiciary, check, done. Legislature, check, done.
So judiciary is captured.
No, that one is gone.
Oh, wow.
Obviously, legislature gone. Obviously, if anybody requires any evidence as to whether the legislature is gone or not, just cast your mind back and remember how voice was used to determine two-third majority. Two-third. You have to have two-third of 90. Two-third of 90. But it was voice that they used. That's your evidence that legislature captured. Security services captured. So what other ones? You need market forces, the market associations, agriculture, farmers, cooperatives, you need student bodies, professional bodies, capture, check, and the way is smooth, everything will just run easily. Now, notice what is also happening in the political circles, in political parties. There is a movement in droves across to the APC, opposition captured. So it's all about ensuring that 2027 is seamless and that there is no noise. When we come back to talk about the Labour Party issue, that is also what that is all about.
Hey, because I was going to say that we saw Joe Biden, so what's with that name again, go through, case.
Yes,
If allegation just on
exactly,
people head, even
exactly,
former President Donald Trump, even
exactly.
Jacob Zuma, even
Everywhere,
South Africa here, they
everywhere,
call them, say, come answer question to you.
everywhere.
So why is it hard if there's an accusation on the son of the president for him to come out, come talk, say, for them to hold and say, oh yeah, excuse me, look,
Exactly,
find that from you, waiting happen.
exactly.
Instead of the person will be the accused to come be the person will be say they go press me. This is sad. But let's get straight to that Labour Party issue because it may not be Uhuru because some people they talk say, well, more drama may just be brewing in the same Labour Party if this matter get as it be and it no go well. But we just pray make maybe this won't be the end of the drama for inside Labour Party. As today, it looked like say the ongoing crisis in the inside Labour Party has even deepened as the party's caretaker committee constituted a special investigative panel headed by Ireti Kingibe, will be one of their senators to investigate Julius Abure, erstwhile national chairman, on alleged anti-party activities and misappropriation of party funds. Now, Nenadi Usman, chairman of the party's caretaker committee, while addressing a world press conference today in Abuja, said the committee, headed by Ireti Kingibe, the senator representing the Federal Capital Territory, as chairman, with Peter Ameh as secretary, has 3 weeks within which to submit such reports. Now, the terms of reference included, amongst others, examination of all allegations leveled against Abure. including alleged anti-party activities, misappropriation of party funds. The panel is also expected to recommend appropriate sanctions to be given to Julius Abure. Make I just quickly play excerpt of that report when they talk so that see how they like to do evidence. You can go and verify it. So let's verify what they said
our journey
in
has
that press
been
conference.
marked
Make
by
people
both
hear it by
progress and
themselves.
challenges. Today, we are compelled to speak out not in anger, but in responsibility. We commend the Nigerian judiciary and welcome the recent Supreme Court judgment that removed Barrister Julius Abure as the national chairman of the Labour Party. We honor our dedicated members nationwide who have remained steadfast despite the turbulence. Yet, we must confront with courage and clarity the divisive actions and manipulative tactics of Barrister Abure and his associates. They are actions that threaten the unity, integrity, and public image of our party. In light of Mr. Abure's continued impersonation and misrepresentation of the office of the national chairman, the National Executive Council, NEC, in session, has reached a hard but necessary decision. We can no longer stand by while the values we hold dear, transparency, discipline, and democratic accountability, are undermined from within. This press conference is convened to address the growing concern over the misconduct and internal rascality plaguing our party. At a time when Nigerians are yearning for credible leadership and they see the Labour Party as a beacon of hope, it is regrettable that we must battle internal sabotage from those who should know better. Let me be clear. When others descend into rascality, we must rise with discipline. When they go low, we go high. Because our party must reflect the Nigeria we want to build. It has become evident that Mr. Abure does not have the best interests of the Labour Party at heart. Rather than unify the party, he undermines it. Rather than attract credible Nigerians to come and join, he alienates them. Instead of advancing our collective vision, he pursues narrow personal ambitions. Most painfully, he targets those who have brought credibility and national visibility to our party. His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi and Governor Alex Oti. They represent the aspirations of a new Nigeria. Governor Oti stands out today as one of the most effective and respected governors in the country. These men have sacrificed not for personal gain, but to give the Labour Party and Nigeria a real shot at transformation. What they demand is simple: a party that is transparent, democratic, and accountable. Instead of embracing this vision, Mr. Abure chooses confrontation and chaos. We say today, this must stop. Yes. For the sake of the Labour Party, for the sake of democracy, and for the sake of Nigeria's future. After a careful and comprehensive review of the Supreme Court judgment delivered on Friday, April 4th, 2025, the National Executive Council, NEC, is deeply concerned.
Okay, before I continue, make I just say one of the bone of contention now the Supreme Court judgment will be said and pass on that matter. And I don't know whether it did get any particular Supreme Court judgment or any court judgment we don't be very difficult to interpret like this one. Because this one they like one of the most difficult court judgments we had to interpret. Everybody see different meaning. Everybody can like say they right on their own. But let's see further
by the subsequent actions of Barrister Julius Abure, particularly his continued impersonation of the esteemed office of the national chairman of the Labour Party. These actions have not only violated the spirit and letter of the law, but have also brought the image and integrity of our great party into disrepute. In the exercise of its constitutional mandate and in strict accordance with the disciplinary provisions of the Labour Party Constitution 2019 as amended, the NEC in session hereby announces the commencement of disciplinary actions against Mr. Abure. These actions have started with the constitution of a special investigative committee to review the actions of Mr. Abure as it affects the image and integrity of the party. In line with due process and the party constitution, NEC gives Mr. Abure 48 hours notice to show why disciplinary actions should not be taken against him for his numerous acts of gross misconduct against the party. The formal notice of disciplinary action will be sent to the last known address of Mr. Julius Abure. Mr. Abure is hereby warned to desist from parading himself as the national chairman of the Labour Party or impersonating the office in any form. The apex court of the land has clearly and finally nullified his claim to leadership, and his tenure has long expired by the passage of time. His continuing acts of reckless denigration of party leadership and open war against the party is unwarranted. Rather than drag the image of the party further into disrepute, Mr. Abure is advised to deploy his time and attention to addressing the numerous allegations of corruption, forgery, perjury, and criminal conspiracies pending against him. The NEC of the Labour Party has passed a resounding vote of confidence on His Excellency Mr. Peter Ameh, national leader of the Labour Party and the 2023 presidential candidate. The leadership of the Nigerian Labour Congress under the President, Mr. Joe Ajaero, and the Trade Union Congress, and all the members of the Labour Party caucus in the National Assembly, and various states houses of assembly. You continue to stand for truth, integrity, and the values that define the Labour Party. We appreciate your commitment to the mission of saving Nigeria through a Labour Party government come 2027 by the grace of God. Similarly, we extend a resounding vote of confidence on His Excellency Dr. Alex Otti for his exemplary leadership and unwavering loyalty to the vision of the Labour Party. It is important to make clear that Mr. Abure and his expired National Working Committee lack the legal or moral authority to even speak of taking any disciplinary action against Dr. Alex Otti, the governor of Abia State.
All right. Okay. So let's quickly stop it here, Mr. Segun Shapito. So could you please react to this latest development for inside Labour Party? You see the Abure-led team accepting this matter. Now remember, saying no be just this committee where they set up now. Nine, they don't first talk about the kind of gross misconduct and the things and way BC Abure don't do before. In fact, they want Oluchi when they come accuse them how he transfer money. They even send money to in children, in wife, in gateman. They go come send them back to them from Labour Party coffers. All the money where Labour Party make during election, Mr. Abure no fit give account of the ones where they under in custody as the chairman of the party, and all of those issues. Then, how you see this matter going on? Considering say they talk to some of them, they like more they do for inside the party to use destroy the party. You're muted, sir. Thank you.
You know, it's funny. It's funny because this press conference that I just saw, Abure held one exactly like this. He also had a panel sitting beside him. He said he was representing NEC. He had members of the press. In fact, I watched on Arise TV, and the caption, was it Arise or was it Channels? I can't remember. And the caption of, the description for Abure was Labour Party chairman. They didn't even put factional. They actually gave him the legitimacy of being the chairman in spite of the Supreme Court ruling. So it's all very unfortunate. Ordinarily, like you said, the Supreme Court ruling should have put an end to this. But because they were not categorical, they didn't give categorical orders. It's very easy for mischievous politicians to do their normal thing. And what we see playing out now is still a part of the drama, is a part of the political calculations towards 2027. You remember that expose that was given to us by Ali Baba, um,
Yes, now.
from Obasanjo, from
Where
OBJ.
he said and tell them exactly.
So this is one of those strategies for winning presidential elections that OBJ, who should know, described. It was one of the steps. He listed many steps, the things that you must do. One of them is that you must sow the seed of discord in credible opposition parties. So in this case now, PDP is nothing. PDP is gone thanks to Wike. Now, Okowa and Co, all of them, the support base for the PDP after they lost at the center was Delta State and River State. Those are the two resource-rich states, within the PDP. Now, Delta State is gone and River State is technically gone. It's very, very likely from feelers that we're hearing that Sim Fubara may be reinstated, but he will immediately defect to the APC. So that's another playbook. Now, this one that is happening in the Labour Party is okay. We have dealt with PDP. What do we do? What do we do about Labour Party? So they want to take over the Labour Party as well. And Abure is turning out to be a very useful instrument in this regard. I feel that Peter Obi, working with Nenadi Usman and Dr. Alex Oti in Abia State, they need to act a bit more decisively. The Supreme Court ruling, they are the ones that went to court. The Supreme Court ruling validates their position. Under the law, they are actually in control of the party at the moment. They need to be a bit more decisive and they need to move with speed. Follow the constitution of the party, set up national convention process. Start from the local government, move all the way to the states, and hold a national convention where you elect officials. This interim arrangement, caretaker committee arrangement, should not be allowed to continue for much longer. Let Peter Obi be more forceful, understand that the game of politics as it is played in Nigeria, yes, you must continue to be moral, you must maintain your moral high horse, you must continue to play the game by some sort of code that can stand scrutiny, that will show that you are not out just for selfish personal interest. But you must also be pragmatic. And I think at this point now, Peter Obi needs to be pragmatic. He needs to go after, setting up the party. The final thing I want to say, the movement that is behind Peter Obi, the movement that made Peter Obi, they are called the obedient movement. They are the ones. So what Peter Obi should have done from day one is that he should have taken control of Labour Party as a platform and allowed the obedient movement to populate it. Right now, what is happening is that...
Remember, Abure at some point suggested that allow Labour Party take control and allow obedience enter inside Labour Party. At that time, he say obedience together than Labour Party. Did you not think that was because perhaps he foresee this kind of thing, say they go play this kind of hanky-panky and make him want to disassociate Labour Party from obedient movement in case anyone happen?
Yes, but that's because he didn't take control. That's because Peter Obi himself did not work with the obedience movement in a seamless, well-orchestrated manner. He didn't take full advantage of the organizational capacity of if you talk about structure that existed organically within the obedient movement all across in all 36 states of Nigeria, including the FCT, that structure is on ground until as I speak, but it is disparate. It's not together. It's different organizations who are just supporters of Peter Obi trying to come together. There was an attempt by the big tent to put all of that together as well.
Yes.
Again, it didn't quite work out. So there's another one called Cop Dem right now. There are so many of them just trying to take advantage of that number. Peter Obi needs to step in and say this far no more and organize the thing. He is too laid back in his approach. He's too quiet. He's too calm. He needs to be a bit more decisive. He needs to be a bit more charismatic. He needs to lead the process. Let him take the structure that exists in the obedient movement and use it to populate Labour Party. Get rid of all of these fifth columnists who are clearly playing out the script, and take charge of the party. And I'm saying this not because I necessarily support Peter Obi. I'm saying this because for our country to survive, PDP is gone. We need opposition, and we need not just any opposition, we need credible opposition. PDP is gone. SDP is coming up. With all, you see, SDP is another problem because what you have in the SDP is similar to what you had in the Labour Party during the elections. It's an amalgamation of disgruntled elements and forces
Telling you.
from the different
So
parties.
you may have another problem again at hand.
So you are going to have problem there. That problem is just coming. It's loading. It's doing press up. It's going to explode in our
Talk a few
faces.
things. You talk a few things wey touch my body, and I would like me to address some things. Remember, say, Kinwumi Additional come out recently, come talk say Nigeria did better in the 1960s. Say people were faring better, and the presidency came for him. They reply and talk saying a lie in the lie and all of
Mhm,
those. And you be person always
mhm.
be economics. So I would like me to inform Nigerians properly. Now, one of the reasons why I bring you here. But let's begin with what Peter Obi said now, and we'll touch a lot of things, including insecurity, and then waiting presidents think about the insecurity because he actually thinks something. He thinks he's actually doing well. You understand? But let's look at it. Peter Obi, I'm so sorry, sir. I don't mean to make you laugh. Peter Obi don't
Sorry.
condemn corruption for inside governance. They call for
Yeah.
integrity in leadership. Remember, in a likely statement we make for John Hopkins University, we be stating raise a lot of alarm when talk saying Nigerian leaders no get character, and they no get drive, they no get better attitude. Well, you don't talk them again. In a firm critic of Nigeria's governance, former Labour Party presidential candidate has voiced his concern over the nation's deepening culture of corruption. That is the thing. The be like say don't become part of us, warning that it
Yes, sir.
threatens societal values and the dignity of honest labor. And whether you like them or not, it don't they day like say if they threaten the dignity of honest labor. Because a lot of people go tell you say, waiting will propel somebody today to talk, say, I be Yahoo boy. Now because of say, if politician go fit become only one time, wait there for politics, 1 year in politics, in life turn around. I mean, who was Godwill Akpabio's father? Who was Nyesom Wike's father? Father? Who was, you can name them. So if their life can be turned around because of, say, they enter politics, I mean, who I be one no go press button in my life turn around? All get, na get. You understand? That's what people are now saying. This is not me justifying what I shouldn't justify, but that is it. So you don't like say quick, get rich quick syndrome. I don't know if I have my guest here. I think I've lost you. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, Mr. Shegun. I don't know if I can hear you. I don't know if you're here. Yeah, sorry. Oh, never happened to you. So, get quick rich syndrome don't become a thing for inside Africa right now. And one of the things where they propel waiting they happen to people for Africa and how did they approach in fact Nigeria Congo and how did they approach money. Now, Peter B don't talk this one now. Trust people now to come for him and say that no, this thing he has to say. Please, at any point, if my own light go, because Oga just continue to the talk. If my own light go, I'll come back and rejoin you. In case I don't think I'm on inverter. Usually I go straight on inverter when I want to do this. So that's it. Then on the other hand, let's also take a look at other issues. Now, President come out yesterday, come talk, say Nigeria first policy, say now MDAs and parastatals and all of that go prioritize made in Nigeria products. And any ministry will fail to prioritize made in Nigeria products, then go get to collect waiver before they go fit buy anything when they get abroad. People don't dey fear say it will lead to inflation for inside the country. I think Abubakar don't tell him. So I don't know if you can hear me, sir. Can you hear me, sir? Can you hear me, sir? Can you hear me, sir? Okay, I guess he's trying to reconnect back to me. Well, Atiku Abubakar don't come and tell President Bola Ahmed Tinubu say, Oga, if you want advisors, can you hear me, sir? Can you hear me, sir? Can you hear me? Oh dear. Can you hear me, sir? Okay, I would really want him to join us because this conversation is very, very important. I would like me to really look at Mr. Shego Shopito, can you hear me? I can hear you.
Um,
Okay, you can hear me. You can hear me.
I'm managing to hear you.
I'm so sorry. Oh, right. I'm so
Can you hear
sorry.
me? Can you
Yes, I
hear
can
me?
hear you. So if at any point my own lights go, if you just miss my signal, just continue to talk. Oh, I'll go rejoin you.
I
No
can hear
vex.
you.
I'm
I
not sure
can
say
hear you.
I'm not sure say I join inverter.
I
So
can hear
going
you.
back, yeah, thank you. So Atiku Abubakar don't also tell
Yes.
President Bola Tinubu say for this in Nigeria first policy when he say buy in Nigeria first, making lead by example, making selling escalade use innocent motors and all of those. Now in all of this, trust Nigerian government to answer. But
Um,
in all of these things where they
yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. In all of these things where they happen,
I can hear you now.
insecurity now one of the things where they bite. Insecurity now one of the things where they bite Nigeria the most. As a matter of fact, before the plenary yesterday, this is not part of the things we happened for inside the plenary, the floor of the plenary yesterday, where it be say some of the House of Assembly, National Assembly members, they try tell government or they try tell Akpabio when they talk, say they go set up a committee. You understand, for security committee and all that. Now they come, they say, let's stop deceiving Nigerians because we cannot say that all of us we don't know what's insecurity be about
Do
or
we
what's they
want to
happen.
really
Let's listen to that because I'm
be
headed to
true to
somebody. Let's quickly
ourselves?
watch that
And do we
again
really want to
for
be
those who
true
didn't
to
know.
our calling here as senators? And the reason why I ask that is very simple, Mr. President. I have been here for a very long time. And for each session I've been here, we have had security summits. Each session. In fact, the last one, we were part of setting it up and then we did everything. At the end of the day, nothing came out of it. So, there is no one of us here who does not know what is going on in his area. Do we want to be true and fair and say the truth about what is happening in this country? If we want to be true to ourselves, then we can go ahead with a summit, then we can deal with this matter. But if we're just going to stand up here to now make statements so that people will see us on television, then I want to profound, Mr. President, that we will just end up doing exactly what we have been doing, make statements, and nothing will come out of it.
If security is the only thing this National Assembly will achieve,
All right,
then
so
it will
this is
all
what
go home.
Abunenge also talked for inside the interview. When Abunenge talk, say even the Tokano jet who will spend $1 billion to buy $1 billion to buy Tokano jet, and that Tokano jet right now that will enter inside an agreement to make us no fee to use that Tokano jet anymore after spending $1 billion borrowed money that we're paying with our children's future to buy the Tokano jet. We cannot use it right now. Now, here is someone, a senator, defending this President Bola Ahmed Tinubu security approach to security since he entered government.
We are now on the
to
fifth
judge him.
month,
Just take a listen
first
to it
week
so that
of the
we
fifth
get.
month. You didn't put the studio together in 1 week or in 1 month. I know how many years Udoka have been working to put this place.
Yeah, but before
just a minute, I didn't
well,
interrupt.
okay, go on. Sorry, go
now
on.
the issue is that you cannot say President passed the budget in January, and then end of April you expect that everybody should be secured. It doesn't work. It does 2020. We are still in 2025. Yeah. You know, we have not finished. We are not even halfway into 2025. And you will agree with me that if you have asked me this question December 2025, I will have a different answer. But we are just on the 5th month of 2025, first week, and you are already giving an assessment of the president about security policies. So, in other words, a student coming to study BSc security, and in year 1 you have said that he's a failed student. That is not right. So that's not fair. What I'm telling you, what I told you,
it's year 2.
Year 2, yeah. Year 1.5. It's not year 2. Year 2 is May.
Well, it's not 1.5.
You know, so whatever with 1.9, 0.5.
29 May is 3 weeks
it's
away.
Not yet
So it's almost
3 weeks to say a lot.
years.
But let me say this clearly to the Nigerians. It is not that if the president or the Senate is not, sharing whatever pains that arise from insecurity. And that is why the president even went to Castina and made far-reaching statements about what is going on there. And that is why security policy is bringing a lot of results. But let me tell you, before Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu came to office, you will assess the security situation. And you give him 1.9 months, 1 year, 9 months, or whatever it is, or 2 years approximately, to resolve this problem in 350 million Nigerians, 36 states, 776 local governments. Now, we at the Senate, and under the leadership of the Senate President, we are trying to say, let's help, because we have an oversight function.
Well,
just a minute.
Yeah.
Let's help to make sure that we discuss all these. Let Nigerians gather and discuss all of this, so that everybody will bring their own solution. Again, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is Chief Security Officer, but you are also security officer to yourself.
Yeah.
So we want to create that mentality that you also hold Nigeria responsibility of your own security.
Right. Well,
because you cannot be having.
You made that point.
Yeah,
can I come in here?
Just a minute. So I will round up that point.
Right.
You cannot have this studio and not have cameras. Could the police can come tomorrow and extract information from? You do know in England, ordinary shops have TVC cameras where police go there and random to extract information. All these things have to be collected and centralized to be distilled, to that kind of situation where you have security balance.
Well,
so it is not the fact that the president
right.
or the government is not doing anything. I completely disagree.
Okay, so that is Jimoh Ibrahim, a senator, defending the president's approach to security for the about 2 years where he done the office. He called it 1.5 years, about 1 year. So he never do for too long. And they head somewhere because I don't know. And then just recently, remember that I told you earlier that the senators are calling for National Security Summit to address the security issue because it don't the pass hand. But then again, the National Assembly members, some of them shouted out and said that, look, with the way we're handling security issues, if we are not careful, these people go pursue us enter our house because it don't they enter inside that matter. So let me quickly play that to you and then I get your response. And then before we go to other issues concerning Nigeria's development in the 60s.
They are using armed drones, weaponized drones, which the Nigerian army is not using. In other words, they are more sophisticated and advanced than the Nigerian army. Mr. President must hold Nigerian military strategic commandants and other head of security agencies accountable for negligence of their responsibility. You and I is to say, no matter how Nigerians respect us, we are moving to a level that Nigerians will fight us the way they fight criminals and the way they fight Boko Haram. Mr. Speaker, we have to think how to create a law that will allow our people to protect themselves, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we just need this thing. Our security personnel are inadequate, Mr. Speaker. They are trying their best, but the problem, Mr. Speaker, they are inadequate and they don't know the terrain of our communities.
Okay, all right. So, Mr. Sheikh, let me let you respond to this before we move to the economic indices between the 60s, 70s, and right now. So, in terms of security, do you agree with Jimoh Ibrahim that it's still too early to, examine the president or score the president to score him whether he pass or pass or inside security matter, considering saying that just now it won't reach 2 years?
Well, I think the question we have to ask Jimoh Ibrahim is, what other time do you have to score, an administration apart from halfway through? You are halfway through. Halfway. How can you say it's too early? What are we waiting for? Are you assuming?
I remember saying a president talks in 30 years, they don't prepare to be
exactly. The man actually said we should not pity him, that he knows the job that is coming to take. He knows how difficult it's going to be, and he's ready for it, he's prepared for it. We should not pity. He doesn't want our sympathies. So I don't understand what Jimoh Ibrahim is saying. It's a 4-year term. Maybe we need to remind Senator Jimoh Ibrahim, it's a 4-year term. It's not an 8-year term. 8 years is not guaranteed. So if Jimoh Ibrahim is saying it's too early, I think he's assuming that, he has 8 years to go. After 4 years, now he has 8 years. After 4 years, then we can say how he has done. No, the 8 years are not guaranteed in the Constitution. What is guaranteed for him right now is 4 years. And he's halfway through. Is it until everybody has finished dying that we will know that we need to rate him? Look at what is happening in Benue, in Plateau State, in Nasarawa State, before we now head out and say what's happening in Zamfara State and all of those northwest states. So the northwest and the north central, as we speak today, they are war zones. These are technically war zones. We don't understand. It's like Nigeria does. We don't realize the reality that we are living in. We're at war. We're a country at war. It's just that the war is internal, and it is not a civil war. So we don't realize that we're not fighting external forces that are trying to invade us, even though we are with Boko Haram. We're not fighting internal secessionist forces, so to say, we're fighting a civil war. Even though there's an element of that with what is happening in the Southeast. We are fighting an existential war where there is just all different types of manifestations of insecurity that is driven by poverty, hunger, and a society that is full of injustice. Decades upon decades of deprivation, of illiteracy, of hunger is what has led us here. So we're fighting a civil war, and we're losing people in hundreds every day. I don't understand what Jimo Ibrahim means when he says it's too early. And then the president is giving himself a pass mark, really? In this reality that we're seeing, with all of the indicators that we're hearing left, right, and center, the most recent one was that Nigeria is second in the number of malnourished children in the world.
Absolutely.
Second only to Sudan. Just imagine that, you know, those images
and by the way,
we've
also taken the lead in, you know,
in
people living
poverty.
in poverty.
Yes, in poverty. So I don't understand. It's almost as if these politicians live in a complete, in fact, the truth of the matter is that they actually do live in a different reality. They are completely cocooned off, completely protected and sequestered from the reality of the ordinary Nigerian. They don't drive on our roads, they fly. Many of them have helicopters and private jets. They don't eat the food that we eat. In fact, they don't buy food. They don't drive the cars that we drive, you know. So they don't use our lights. In fact, it is so bad that even the president of the country has abandoned us in darkness.
Yes,
they have decided to budget public money.
He follow his own path, pushing his own course.
He just left us alone and went to go and take care of himself. The father of the nation now has 24/7 power off grid. It might not have been implemented yet, but the budget has been done. It's gonna happen. You know, so they are completely cocooned from the reality of Nigerians, and that's why sometimes they say these things, and you are just thinking, where is this guy from? Is he from the moon? Is he from Jupiter? Is he from Pluto? Is he not a Nigerian? Does he not live in the same Nigeria that I'm living in? Look, the truth of the matter is, as we speak today, Nigeria is in a crisis, and we need to understand it.
Those House of Rep members when talk, some of them can't talk. Say, I think there's something one of them said when he said that you don't reach time where it be say Nigerians, they're supposed to make laws, lawmakers, for Nigerians to begin protect themselves, to make them legal for Nigerians to protect themselves. Has it come to that level? I'm waiting for the implication of that if truly we don't reach that level.
Honestly, it's you know, much as I don't support,
because that was scary. That was scary to hear before the
house. Yes. It's I don't support it because I know we just simply do not have the safeguards that will take care of the downside implications of that. We don't have it. We're not a structured society. If you go down that road, we're all dead. You know, but pardon me, but the truth is, the reality that is facing a large chunk of Nigerians today is suggesting that that is a viable solution. Look, anywhere in Benue State and in Plateau State today, I think they need to start carrying guns. I don't think they have a choice anymore, because you go to sleep and there is absolutely no guarantee that you're going to wake up the following morning and not find that you're already at the gates of heaven and hell, you know, wondering, where am I? Because, you know, the people, they come in overnight and they slaughter people. They come to them in churches during service and they slaughter people. So now imagine if the people that are coming to invade is aware, if they are aware that those people have pistols, rifles, double barrel, you know, maybe even machine guns, you know, the way they do in America. There is no type of assault rifle that an average American is not allowed by law to carry. If the invaders and the attackers are aware that the people they are going to attack have guns too, I think they will be a bit more cautious. They're not just going to go in there and start shooting. And if they do, when they do fire and they have 4 times in return, they will quickly beat a retreat. So I think maybe we're getting there. I don't like it. I don't support it. I don't think we can even survive it. But look, it's a conversation that we now need to have, because the state is failing woefully. The duty of the state, the only reason why you should say to a people that, no, you don't carry guns, is when the state says, I will protect you. You don't need it. So that's what's happening in the UK. That's what's happening in places like Australia, in New Zealand. You know, there are places in the world, apart from the United States, most other parts of the world, they don't carry guns anyhow. But the state, the security provided by the state in those places It's top notch. It's state of the art. If somebody knocks on your door and you hear funny movement, you pick up your phone, dial 999 or whatever, 199, whatever the number is, in 2 minutes. In some instances, 2 minutes. They're there. In 5 minutes, the response speed is so quick that your life can actually be saved, even from active invaders in the moment. You know, but in Nigeria, is that the case? In Nigeria, the attackers, the people that kill people, are the ones that are getting protection from machineries of state, of state security that should be protecting the people. So it's a conversation that I think we need to have. It's a scary conversation, I agree with you. It's not something that I'm particularly supportive of, but I think we need to start talking about it so that our politicians know that we're at that crossroads now, and they absolutely need to do better. You know, this president needs to do better, honestly. He needs to do better.
Speaking about doing better, almost every other thing, including education, be dwindle. Just recently, UTME results come out when EB say only about, I think about 80% of JAM students fail. That 70-something percent, 78-point-something% of the students will write JAM fail. That is, they know fit do up score up to 200. Not even scoring excellent, they know score up to 200. And the Minister of Education was interviewed, and then he supported it. He said that shows that they are cutting off exam malpractice. So when you cut off exam malpractice to stop teaching, does it in turn mean that your entire students will fail? What have you taught them that would make them feel when you have cut off exam malpractice? I mean, not just you understand the indices. Make I just quickly give you, no, not vex now. You know, it good make they
It's
talk
funny.
this.
The whole thing is just funny. It's just
This is
crazy.
my response to that question.
Exams being done the proper way. JAM conducts its exam using computer-based testing. They've put in so much security in place that fraud or cheating has been completely eliminated. Now, we don't have the same in our other exams like WAEC and NECO. And that's why, if you followed us at the Ministry of Education...
Okay, so basically, you talk and say they don't get the same CBT, computer-based test for that exam. Say, what make people fail JAM now? Because it don't stop everything. We go make Mago enter. Now, what's the implication of writing WAEC in CBT? Because the last time I talk about this, I say, no vex, our ministers, our politicians, when they make this law, can they write WAEC in CBT and pass? You understand? These same politicians, can they write CBT WAEC? Understand they say WAEC, not be something we be saying only young students they write, including people way on age they write them. So can they write WAEC in CBT and fail? Now, Peter B was speaking to the fact, saying this results show, say the JAM results show, in fact, if you look Nigeria, at the same thing. Say in mirror waiting they happen for Nigeria. Because as Nigeria day, now so the results say make a show na the way the country day right now. Then and trust them say they go respond the way we be say they respond. And of course, the man don't hail in policy say he good. What does this tell about the state of the country? Or do you think Peter B was correct, or was he just doing too much?
You know, I addressed this on air earlier today, and my position is simple. The results are not the result of those students. Yes, it's the students that sat for the exam, but the result is not the result of the students. The result is the result of the federal government and society at large.
That is Natinobu results, not vex.
Natinobu result be that he failed. He has failed woefully. That result is not the result of those children. It is the result of Nigeria and Nigerian leadership and Nigerian society. All of us put together, but especially the government, because it is the job of government to organize society. That's their duty. The only reason they exist is to organize us so that we don't live in a jungle, so that this is not, like survival of the fittest and all of that. So that result is a referendum on the success or the current status of our educational institution, of our educational system. We say, oh, everything has collapsed. Education has collapsed, electricity collapsed, transportation collapsed, healthcare collapsed. All of those other places, it may be very difficult to find empirical data to prove it. For example, how do you want to say health sector has collapsed? What measure, what numbers can you use to measure it? You see this education, this result, this is the measure. This thing, what if I were President Tinubu, I would look at that result, I would take it very personally. The thing will pay me reach my phone, and I will give myself a target and say, before I leave in 2027, this result must turn around. I will call my Minister of Education, who is talking, with all due respect to him, talking absolute balderdash about this being because they cut out exam malpractice. Are you joking? The result is because the students are not learning anything. They're not learning anything. So I will call that Minister of Education, call the Minister of State for Education, call the Minister of Youth and whatever development, put them together, have a conference, and call all the commissioners of education across the entire country, all the 36 states, right? Call, anybody in the education sector that is the stakeholder, sit them down, lock them up in a room, and tell them they should come up with a new revised curriculum for the entire education system, starting from kindergarten to primary school, to secondary school, to university, to postgraduate. How do we redesign the entire education system in such a manner that it will be fit for the purpose of Nigeria today? Look, that was 1.9 million. 1.9 million people sat for that exam, and only 5%, precious, only 5% scored 250 and above. 5%.
That's 200 and above. No, go give them admission for any university. I hope so. The cutoff
I
point
understand.
to be higher than that 200.
Exactly.
So they go to school, really.
So 5% of 1.9, 10% of 1.9 is 190,000. So that's about 85,000 people. The rest of that 1.9, 1.8, 1,815,000 young Nigerians failed exam spectacularly, right? So that's 1.8 million people. We need to find a way to bring them back to reteach. Those are the people that are going to take over Nigeria tomorrow. That's the point I was trying to make. They are the ones that are taking over Nigeria. In 5 years' time, they will be in university. They will be finishing university, because this is JAM. 5 years' time, those guys, the ones that get into university among them, will be finishing university, right? In 10 years' time, they are going to be the ones working in offices. They're going to be government officials. They're going to be in the civil service. Some of them will be the politicians. And look at their results today. If we don't fix this problem today, Nigeria, we think Nigeria is bad now, Abi. God forbid that we see Nigeria that is as bad as this type of result can make it. So the president needs to take this personally and fix this problem.
Somebody here thinks that now because of saying Nigerians they hustle, they go to school at the same time. They talk say, how can Nigerians concentrate when at the same time you're hustling to go to school? You're thinking of
I wish it were that simple. I wish it were that simple. It's not that simple. This result is not a matter of hustling. It's not a matter of distraction. It's not a matter of social media. I've heard all sorts of explanations. It's a simple reality that our education system is not working. It's a failure. It's not working. So we need to redesign it. We need to take the whole thing apart and
Mr.
rebuild it.
Speaking about education system, I watched a testimony before Dunamis house, Dunamis church. I don't know if you saw that testimony of a 90-something years old man when he give account of how the education system been there during in time, how he be saying he attend school free and all of those. Now, backing this with Akinwumi additional talk, make I play you that testimony quickly. Waiting Akinwumi additional talk and the attack, what did attack and I see Nigeria better today than then. Waiting be the money. How is it that the likes of Ahmadu Bello, Awolowo could afford free education and even give people food and free books join on top? And why this our current crop of politicians not do it?
Bless you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, at the university, the government, I come from Kogi State, geographically part of the north. Sardauna made sure that anybody who had admission to a tertiary institution was given a scholarship. The scholarship covered tuition, covered lodging, covered feeding, 3 meals per day. And we had what was called Bulgaria. That was allowance. Okay. Like I told you yesterday, I got married when I was in university from my allowance. As a student, we had book allowance. If you went overseas, you had what was called warm clothing allowance. And like I was saying yesterday, what was Saddam using for money compared with the money that is available now, that some people, some governors earn more than 1 billion naira per month for security vote. Sir, my firstborn, I was at the university the year I graduated. My friend and I rode on his scooter. We left Ibadan at 12:30 a.m. and got to Ilorin at 4:30 a.m. on a scooter.
Security.
There was nothing to be afraid of. Because each region took care of its own children. Like I said yesterday, sir, that constitution is the title deed. The day it comes down and we have a constitution drawn by us, that's when we'll be free. Sir, it is like a company. Him, me, he decide to form a company. We have what is called Memorandum of Understanding.
Yes, sir.
Memorandum of Understanding in our own case here is called preamble. It says, we, the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, agree.
And there was never a time.
No, where did we sit to agree? God bless you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir.
Mr. Shokito, that was heavy for me to watch. That was heavy. I beg. Waiting be the thing, just like you said, what was Saudana doing with money then that this group of politicians are not able to achieve with the same money? Even though say they get more money now than Saudana they exposed to at that time, and that Awolowo was exposed to at that time. What is going on? Do you think that returning Nigeria to regionalism or whatever it is, go fit bring us back to why? Because right now, I'm not sure say any Nigerian go feel they proud of one particular thing where the country they give back to them. They say, oh, tertiary institution is subsidized. To what extent is it subsidized? What's the quality of that tertiary education that is subsidized? I'd like you to chime in on that. Make you understand the country where they inside, sir. And if you marry and with waiting, I think we additional talk with presidency, the attack and forth.
Well, let me start with what Akinwumi Adesina said, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina. He might have his statistics, but I am not sure it's correct. I've done my own quick look at that. And Nigeria's population in 1960 was 45.1 million.
Was there a time we really had an accurate population?
Well, I don't know. But we have to work with the numbers we have because, we have to work with the numbers we have. There's nothing we can do. Right, so 45.1 million in 1960. GDP then was $4.2 billion. Right, so that is nominal GDP. If you do that simple division, that was $93 per capita. It wasn't $800 and something per capita or 1,600. I really don't know. Like you said the thing that you just said now. You may have said you were just asking, but it's a very good point. One of the biggest problems that we have had as a society, as a country for a long time is the paucity of data. Data is just not available. Credible data that you can beat your chest and say, yes, it's correct. Our population numbers have been controversial from forever. The people accuse MPC of politics. It's all about allocation of resources, blah, blah, blah. So we really don't know. Are we really 33 million people today? Or are we actually maybe 280 million, or maybe we are 180 million? We really don't know. So GDP numbers as well, how accurate are they? Depends on who is tracking, who is measuring, and all of that. So I don't know what numbers Dr. Adesina was referencing, but from the little quick search that I
but from the general statements
on my own credible platforms, yes, on the platform that I usually use to get data, Our GDP per capita was $93 in 1960.
But in
So,
terms of ease of living, do you think Nigerians lived a better life?
Now, that is the thing. Now, the thing is that you see that $93 per capita, and maybe that's what Dr. Adesina did, I'm not sure. You have to adjust it for inflation, right? Because we're talking 65 years ago. So inflation adjusted into today's value of money. That's $93 will probably, just off the top of my head, be worth probably like $9,000 today in today's money. So if you then equate that with what that $93 could buy at that time for each person, then you would understand why quality of life, standard of living was far better, far better. The quality of life and standard of living in Nigeria in the early 60s was equivalent to what you had anywhere else in the world, was equivalent to what you had in the UK. You know, because the Oyinbo people were still here. They basically recreated their own terrain in Nigeria. Yes. So because they were living with us. So the quality of life, the road network, the rail network, everything, including electricity supply and all of that, was adequate for the people we had then, which is the issue of per capita. So if you bring that into today's reality, whatever the numbers might be saying, the truth of the matter is that Nigerians are far, far, far worse off than they were in 1960. Nobody needs to tell us. I wasn't born then.
Again, why? In fact, let's not even do 1960s. Let's say 1970s, 80s, and even 90s, during the military regime that we were complaining and clamoring that we want democracy. A lot of people are saying that life better for that military regime where we say we don't want. Past now, where they don't give us democracy. The only people where life better for now, the politicians.
Are the politicians.
So why is it like that? I want to understand why.
It's corruption now. Precious is corruption. There's no other explanation for this thing. Look, it's all about every country and every society. The most important part of the equation of how well a society runs is allocation of resources. Allocation of resources is that resources are finite. They are not unlimited. No, there's no country in the world that has unlimited resources. You take what you have, convert it to value, get money in return for that value, use it to do the things you need to do. Now, what is happening in Nigeria, what has happened progressively, and it has gotten progressively worse. It got to a peak under the military, Abacha, Babangida, and Abacha in particular, and then only God knows where we are with that now, is that those resources that are supposed to be allocated fairly, equitably across the society, the entirety of society, so that the poorest of the poor has access to the basics that they need to live their life, and the richest of the rich can then be rich and do whatever they want to do. Those resources are being cornered. So the level of cornering, the level of capture of those resources by both state actors, non-state actor, political class, what have you, it has been increasingly and progressively worse. So now what you're having now is that the money doesn't even get reported anymore. Before, they will report it, they will now find over-invoicing, over-contracting, they will do different schemes to steal the money. Under military, under military, they will transfer the money. Now, you know, that was military government. They will just call the CBN governor and say, oh, yeah, send so and so amount to so and so account in Switzerland. End of story. Then, now, under democracy, what we are now having is that the money doesn't make it to CBN account again. The money, we don't know. Look, the situation of Nigeria today is that we don't know actually how much our revenue is as a country. A lot of it gets missing in transition. So we don't have revenue leakages. We're having revenue theft, revenue haste. People are carrying our revenue before it gets reported. So that's why you see for some of us, because we know this to be the truth, I can never support subsidy removal, ever. Because the problem is not the subsidy, the problem is that the money is being stolen. So if you are allocating resources equitably across society and using it to build infrastructure and all of that, everybody will have the base from which they can stand and then make a living for themselves and be happy by themselves. But unfortunately, the money gets stolen before it gets to that point. And we now say that the country is suffering, you know, and what have you. So that's the problem. That the level of theft in 1960 was nowhere near what it is today. Today now is sophisticated.
Apart from even theft, even the government itself, just like El-Rufai's son mentioned in the House of National Assembly, and that's why I'm sorry, I dey always blame Obasanjo for waiting they happen to us for this current democracy, because I feel say if you're saying take the right decision from when in take over, maybe we'll for no day the level where we did. How is it that in every year's budget we go buy spoon, fork, knife, television, every year budget, Mr. Shengu Shokuto? Every year. I beg, you always sabi economy and all that. I beg, how often do we need these things? It drives people crazy. People are dying of hunger. People, they budget spoon, knife, fork, computer, fan, fridge every year. Every single year for every budget. Now I make each year budget the big pass. Each year budget is the big pass the order. Every year budget the big pass. And I was going to go straight to another report, because there's a report right now that says that Nigerians are tired of the corruption, according to a survey, but that Nigerians are scared of acting because of retaliation. So they fear say when they act, they go retaliate on them. So now waiting keep Nigerians. That means everybody now don't know say corruption in Nigeria. But now just the fear of waiting government go do you. Now waiting make or waiting the powers way pass you, even though the government go do you. But how can any nation continue like this? How can we just have too many leakages, too many places, and those things don't become official? I'm sorry, they're not corruption, no. I hope you know, sir. They have become official, like a normal thing now. Say, oh, every year, once this budget come out. In fact, I don't want to say budget racketeering, neither is a word like that, because say budget period na big deal now for National Assembly, because everybody go just because they know say something go nice up for them. And National Assembly don't get the power now to know, say, if they put also amount, no, they go put their own amount. They go add. What is going on? How can any country survive? Please put us through. In an ideal environment, should we be doing these recurrent expenditures? Should they be coming the way they come every year like this? I beg, no vex, sir.
It's a part of the theft. That's what we're saying. I mean, we've known this. We pointed this out. I'm chairman of a civil society organization. We've written letters to the federal government asking for accountability about certain budget items, about certain ministries. They don't answer, Precious.
How?
So if we now want to compel them to answer, we'll have to now, this civil society organization I'm talking, we don't have funding from Ford Foundation. We don't have funding from MacArthur Foundation and all those foundations that fund CSOs in Nigeria. We're using our own. They answer them. They answer them.
They're not even obey the rule of law for the case anymore.
For us to get the answers we need, we have to go to court. We don't have the resources to do that. So now the point is, this is systemic brigandage. This is how they steal the money. So you take the budget of last year and you simply cut and paste. Anybody that is interested, just go and check. It's cut and paste. You will see line for line exactly the same items in budget for successive years. And you ask yourself, just like you are saying, is it every year that we're buying? Are these spoons, are they not metal? Do they eat it? Like when they are eating the food,
you buy spoons?
Then they chop up. I don't know.
Would they swallow the spoon each time?
Well, they chop them. You understand? So it's all a part of the corruption that I talked about, and how public officials line their own pockets. It's a scheme. It's a racket. It's a budget racket. You were correct. So. Talking about what Nigerians, yes, you're absolutely right. I look at the situation every time that I talk on TV or whatever other platforms that I go on radio. I keep wondering, why are Nigerians not on the streets? But then the answer is very simple. Precious, I got a call this afternoon as I was going out to do something, and the person said, "Hello, my name is so and so. I'm calling you from DSS." My heart skipped a beat. Public confession. My heart skipped a beat. And I was like, okay, all this you're talking that you're always talking on air, finally it has happened. Finally it has happened today. So immediately I just said, okay, how can I help you? And I immediately started planning in my head how to quickly call my lawyer to tell him, if they invite me, I will go. But you see, the point I'm trying to make is that my heart skipped a beat. And what that means, you see, in a society that is normal, I shouldn't get a call from the DSS and feel like, oh my goodness, what's going on? Even though I'm not afraid, I'm afraid naturally, but then I'll quickly remind myself, okay, Oga, Haba, you have lawyers now. Don't worry. You know the law now. You know your right. Oh, yeah, go and meet them.
And moreover, you
That's
never do
not
anything
normal.
bad to you.
That's not normal. No, it turned out to be something else entirely. It wasn't anything to do with all this my public engagement, you know. But the point is, I was scared. Honestly, I have to confess, I was scared for a moment. Of course, you then will now, bold up and say, yeah, what is it now? I am a man of conviction. Anything I say anywhere, you man up and say you get your chest ready to go and collect whatever is coming. Call your lawyer, call your team. Oh yeah, let's go. But it shouldn't be that way. And that if I could have felt that way, imagine the small boy that just left school who is still looking for work. You now say you should go and protest, and then he sees soldier with gun. In 2012, I was part of the protest at Ojota. The final day of that protest, I also went out that day. And I was one of the few people that still drove down towards the place, even though I saw tanks. And I interacted with the soldiers that day. And I was like, yes. He said, oh, God, where are you going? I said, I'm going to the protest there. I said, please go back. That we have orders from above that anybody that gets there, that we should, I don't want to quote it fully on air, So it's a society that is built on fear. You are afraid of your government. It's politicians and government that should be scared of us. So I want to say to Nigerians, everybody that is listening, be ready to lay down your life until we're ready to die, literally die.
So
this country is not going to change.
There's this report.
It's not going to change.
There's this survey, recent survey, that says that there's been growing majority of Nigerians believe that corruption have worsened within the past few years. However, they believe that it's only a few people that can report those corruption to authorities without retaliation or without the fear of retaliation. In fact, a lot of them, the report also said that citizens no longer have trust in key public institutions. They don't have trust and confidence in key public institutions. Is this not I don't know the word to use. Not be wahala be that when people no get confidence to even, that is, I know saying now if I hear crow for my door, I suppose go call police, but I don't even get confidence to go call police.
Exactly.
Not be disaster be that.
Yeah, it's a big problem, and I think that the solution to this is very simple. 2027. I don't know who you are going to vote for, right? And I'm not talking to you, Precious. I'm talking to your listeners, and I'm saying I don't know who you will vote for. But whoever you are going to vote for, go out and vote for that person. Then make sure that your votes are counted. Make sure that your votes are transmitted. Don't go home. Follow your votes until it is transmitted. That means you are going to follow it to the local government. Prepare, get ready for a trek, for a 1 hour, 2 hour trek, depending on how close your local government population center is to your polling unit. Be ready to trek. If it's 2 hours away, go there. Because it's only when you are there that the crime that happens at collation centers will be prevented. I know from personal knowledge that, some places where the reason the current president lost in Lagos, it wasn't because there was no attempt to rig. It was because there were enough people on ground in the major rigging centers to prevent it from happening. So in places where there was nobody,
do you think it wasn't rigged, or it was just rigged fairly?
No, it was rigged, but it wasn't as heavily rigged as it would have been. There was resistance. There's rigging and there's rigging.
Even with the figures we hear say that figure still appear rigged.
Yes, there was resistance. So, yes, there was resistance, and that's my point. So we've got to get to the point where, and I'm saying that because I think that that's probably the most effective way. The other ways will involve civil collapse, will involve unrest, will involve the country shutting down. And I don't think that any of those things that happened in any part of the world has ever resulted in an outcome that was good for all parties. I think at the end of the day, when you have chaos and disorder, everybody loses. The best way is the polling booths and the polling units. So let's go out there together and make sure that it is. Look, please don't get me wrong. If it is Tinubu, if you believe that the current president is doing well and you want him back by all means, go and vote for him and make sure that your vote is counted.
They said that it's because of how good he's doing. That's why people are now waiting make people delete APC. They talk now. They say this defection was because of how good they do. Okay, since you don't want to talk about that one, they laugh. But I beg, no vex. As Atiku Abubakar advised our president, do you see him selling his Escalade for innocent motors?
No, Atiku copied me. Oh, Atiku copied me because I was the first person that said this thing.
He's supposed to give you credit.
As soon as,
Supposed to give
yes,
you
he's
credit.
supposed to give me credit. I'm going to sue him, intellectual property theft, because as soon as I saw that thing, the first thing that I
This is
said
me.
in my
And my
public,
handwriting
yes,
with this.
now my handwriting with this, because the first thing I said in my public engagement was, "Excuse me, Mr. President, not only Mr. President, Mr. President should sell his Escalade. All the legislators must sell those SUVs, 160 million naira SUV. Second-hand value,
That
those
money
SUVs
enter
are still,
if it enter our economy, imagine how much it will give us.
imagine what you can do now. Those SUVs were bought 2 years ago. So they, and of course they were brand new, which means that they were 2022 models. A 2022 Toyota Land Cruiser second-hand today, Nigeria use will still be something around 100 million naira. Precious, maybe more, maybe 120, maybe 130. I've not priced it. But it will be somewhere around that. Now, I am very, very sure that Innocent, Nord, there is another one, I've forgotten their name. There are many local, even, let's even go to Gili, the Chinese ones. They are produced in Nigeria now.
Here, yes.
Yes, they are produced in Nigeria. So let them now sell those SUVs and buy these ones that are made in Nigeria. See, the impact, the multiplier effect, the ripple effect that action alone, based on the optics, the communication that will be coming from. Imagine if the president Tinubu sold that Escalade, but before he sell them, he can't call in us and say, design a custom-built presidential SUV for me. In fact, call it Tinubu 1, but it is built by Innocent. Custom built, design it from scratch. Let them do that. It will not cost the cost of that Escalade we hear was about 1 billion naira. Give Innocent 500 million. See the kind of wonders that he will do for you. That car will fly. The thing will fly. But imagine the message that would communicate to Nigerians. And I'm not joking. I called it the asset replacement or swap program. Federal government asset swap program. Swap everything that was procured from abroad, whether it's cow, whether it's computer. We have Xerox. We have Xerox now. Xerox is still producing, and there are other local producers. We've got Slot. Slot produces phones. So all your iPhones, sell all of it and buy Nigeria produced ones. You see, you see what will happen in terms of local production and in terms of the message that will send to Nigerians. You see how Nigerians are easy put to govern. You see how Nigerians will take that message in and immediately begin to replicate it. And it will have an impact on our production.
Yes, we need to quickly visit Nnamdi Kanu's case. I know that your time is fast spent. Sincere apologies.
Yes, please. Yes, no problem.
His case. But before we visit his case, those 3 MDs in NNPC, we say the Gusu media houses for getting the temerity to write about them, say they thief 80 billion. Sorry, say they see 80 billion for their accounts. Please, Augusta, help us. In other words, what that statement meant, first of all, the initial reports just mean that the entire turnaround maintenance of our refineries has been a scam. That's what it means. And while Nigerians, journalists, they dig into it, now these people, they wait, they in charge that turnaround maintenance. Remember that these are the MDs in charge of those turnaround maintenance. So come they threaten journalists and say they go sue them, go court. I bet not vex, just put them as small. So you know something concerning oil industry where oh my goodness, the light is off again. I asked this question because I know you know a lot about the industry, and that's why I want you to make your input about it. I beg, if you go feel help me, sir. Go ahead and talk. We will be able to hear you, irrespective of the. Go ahead, sir. The network. Go ahead, sir. We can hear you. So just go ahead and respond to that if you can. Oops, the network again. Please forgive us. Can you hear me, sir? Can you hear me, sir? Okay. All right. I think he's ready to reconnect. Can you hear me, sir? Okay. We need to quickly rush to Nnamdi Kanu's case and then I begin to take phone calls. Can you hear me, sir? I cannot hear you. I can't hear you. If you're speaking to me, I can't hear you, sir. If you can hear me, I cannot hear you yet. Unfortunately. Can you hear me? I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you. We cannot hear you. We cannot hear you. Okay, let me see if what he's saying is live. Okay. Can you hear me, sir? Sir, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. We cannot hear you. We cannot hear you. Can you hear me, sir? Ah, I can't hear you. I can't hear you, sir. I can't hear you. I cannot hear you. We cannot hear you. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. We can't hear you, sir. We can't hear you, sir. Oh dear. Oh dear. I don't know if it's just me that cannot hear you. We cannot hear you. We can't hear you, sir. We can't hear you. We can't hear you, sir. We can't hear you. Um, we cannot hear you. I don't know why this is happening. Let me quickly reach out to him. Okay. Sincere apologies, please. It's important that we look at the Nnamdi Kanu's case very quickly, but let's just take his reaction to this conversation. Sorry, sir, we can't hear you. Longer. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. So sincere apologies. So while he's joining back, let's quickly visit Nnamdi Kanu's case. I see a lot of questions asking me about his case and why it was tagged that way. Not be me tag now the newspaper then we write the story, but I'll give you every single details of what happened in court today. Can you hear me now, sir?
I can hear you. Sorry
Fantastic. So if
about
you
that.
could, it's okay. So if you
Technical
can
problem.
react to that, you were saying something I couldn't hear you at all. If you could react to that very
Yes. I was saying that it's only in Nigeria that travesty like this can happen. I think that these guys deserve their day in court, so I think they should sue. Let them sue those media houses. I dare them to sue. They should sue. We want them to sue so that we can get to the bottom of this. How can you have superintended or overseen turnaround maintenance for over a period of about 10 to 15 years? And the amount of money that we're talking about that has been spent on those turnaround maintenance has been anywhere between 10 to 15 billion US dollars. You know, I just add the numbers up. 10 to 15 billion US dollars over a 10 to 15 year time span. You have been doing turnaround, and the thing never turned. The thing never maintained. The thing is not working. Till today, you know, the crazy part of it is that as we speak right now, even the Warri, the Port Harcourt refinery that they claimed was working, they've shut down. I mean, we all knew that it was a scam. We knew that those things were just winding our cable. And people that support government
we
will
even
say,
hear
hey,
that one
look
of
at
them
it.
is just
Well,
blending. One of them is just blending.
yes, exactly. You put blending plan together, you say you are refining, you know, and all of that. We all knew it. And here we are today. Those ones have collapsed, as we knew. In fact, I don't think they worked at all in the first instance. So this one of that, they are no longer working in story. So, and these people have the audacity and the boldness for something that all Nigerians can see with our eyes. We know that monies were spent. Those monies were, you know, the MD of NNPC, Mele Kyari, at that time, actually came out with a press release to state the amount of money that was spent and to state the time that each one of those refineries will come back on stream. So it's not as if people made these things up. And as we speak today, they are not working. Isn't that a crime? Isn't that theft? Where is the money? What did they turn around? And then somebody says that they lied against them, they are going to sue. I say, I dare them. Let them sue. They should go and prove in court. They should go, let the media houses just go there. They are the ones that must prove that they didn't steal money. And the media house will just be there to cover the story. You know, so it's very unfortunate. I think all of those guys should be sent to prison as quickly as possible. I don't even think they need trial. We already have the evidence. Everybody can see it. Just send them to Kirikiri. Let them go and pull up for about 5 years so that they'll have sense.
You're not nice, sir. You're not nice. So let's quickly talk about Nnamdi Kanu's case very quickly. So today, the Federal High Court in Abuja admitted as exhibits series of video clips showing Biafra agitator Nnamdi Kanu announcing the creation of the Eastern Security Network (ESN) and ordering lockdown in the southeast. Now, if in the videos played in the court, because the videos were played in the open court, right? The leader of the proscribed indigenous people of all the indigenous, the leader of IPOB, Indigenous People of Biafra, was seen issuing statements considered inflammatory by the federal government, upon which the terrorism charges were filed against him. Now, one of the videos was tagged broadcast by Nnamdi Kanu, and Kanu was visibly seen addressing his followers on what he called the blessed land of Biafra. He announced the formation of the Eastern Security Network, ESN, urging followers to defend their land against who he referred to as Fulani demonition. Fulani domination. So protect your land, defend yourself against Fulani domination. Now, Kanu warned political leaders in the region against compromise and issued a directive forbidding the presence of Fulani headsmen. That is, he's saying give directive, saying no one see any Fulani headsmen around, stating that no Fulani parading as headsman shall be allowed in our land. That's what they're saying talk. Now, if you are an agent of the Fulani, turn away this evening. That's what they're saying talk. The federal government, through its witness, codenamed PWBB, claimed that the broadcast incited acts of terrorism across the southeast. That this thing when Nnamdi Kanu talk, saying an act of terrorism around southeast. Now, the witness also led an evidence by the prosecuting counsel chief Adegboyega Awomolo San. During this evidence, he tendered a flash drive containing a recording of Kanu's activities before he was apprehended for inciting violence and terrorism. The device was admitted as evidence against, alongside a certificate of compliance, despite vehement objection from Kanu's lawyer. So Kanu's lawyer said, no, you cannot admit this, but of course, they no grade, they admit them. They were marked exhibits PWA and PW1 respectively. Earlier in the session, the court admitted a letter dated June 17, 2021, authored by the former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, which accused Kanu of terrorism, murder, and incitement to violence. Now, the letter addressed to the DSS was tendered without objection and marked as exhibit PWF. Now, reading from the document, the witness alleged that Kanu's broadcast was followed by coordinated attacks on police stations and correctional facilities, resulting in the loss of lives and property. That is after that broadcast when you make, say, the thing come followed by attacks. Now, most important part of that broadcast was the part they said, the things he said during the NSAS protest, where he said, attack the police stations, don't agree for any uniform person, stuff like that. That's what he said. And let me just summarize it and stop it here. While a lot of people are saying that, what has Kanu said about the headsman attack that is not playing out today? Where headsmen now don't they pursue people from their villages? Not just pursue people, rape, kill, maim, take over communities, burn houses. So waiting in talk when it happen right now. So do you still believe that okay, let me let you react. So we don't sound subjects. Let me let you react.
Well, yeah, I think the case is still in court, and we hopefully will see it play out. Look, like I said elsewhere today, I'm happy that this matter is now, the court case is moving forward, in a speedy manner. For me, what I have never really supported is holding somebody for this long without trying him, let him face the music. If he's done something wrong, let him have his day in court. Let him have his day in court. Let him prove his innocence. And if he can't prove his innocence, let him go to jail. Don't hold anybody, because that could have been me, it could have been you, it could have been anybody else. That has been my position. Now, but to the substance of the matter, look, I've never hidden my disdain for the rhetoric of Nnamdi Kanu, especially in the earlier times. Not this one where he's now talking about Fulani men and all of that. Before Buhari, just before Buhari came on board, I think 2011, 2012, 2014, thereabouts, I listened to Nnamdi Kanu speak, and my skin crawled, my stomach turned at the kind of things that he said about Nigerian state and the Nigerian country. I have no issues with anybody pursuing agitation for self-determination. I think it's everybody's right. There are people that are looking for a nation today, and it's their right. I don't support them, I think I would rather have a Nigeria that is big and strong. Let's fix Nigeria, make it work, than to balkanize it and break it into bits and pieces. But if you are going to agitate for self-determination or for secession, you have to go about it the way it is supposed to be done. We've experienced one civil war already. We still have not recovered from it on either side of the divide. And we can't do anything that will lead us down that road again. And that, for me, has been my problem with Nnamdi Kanu and his approach to the self-determination matter. Carrying of arms, setting up ESN, and all of that, for me, I thought that was unnecessary. Agitate. Look, as Nnamdi Kanu is talking about marginalization and all of that, and the Southeast are talking about marginalization, I've always said it. The marginalization is political. It's the fact that they have not allowed a Southeast person to become president or to hold any major office. That's the marginalization.
Is that really the marginalization? How about the
No,
development?
for me, no. The development, sorry, Precious. The development is also a major part of it. But I'm saying that if you take your eyes away from allocation of these resources, excuse me, Precious, which part of Nigeria today is not marginalized? Which part of Nigeria is working? Which part of Nigeria has 24/7 electricity? Which part of Nigeria has smooth, brilliant roads and fantastic high-speed bullet trains that transport people from Lagos to Abuja in 1 hour? Nigeria is marginalized. So for me, the problem is there's a political issue and there's an economic survival, standard of living, cost of living problem. That cost of living economic survival is a national problem. We need to unite and face the real enemy. So if Kanu was talking about Fulani headsmen, everybody can see what those Fulani headsmen are doing today, or whoever they are, because I don't like profiling. Whoever they are, we can all see what they're doing across the country, including in the Southeast and, in the not even in some part of the Southwest. So whatever he said about that, telling people to defend themselves, even men of God, Precious, well-respected bishops in this country, stood on their pulpits and told people to kill anybody that invades them. So I don't think that anything that Kanu said in that regard should be considered terrorism. If you are asking people to defend themselves, you can't be considered to be a terrorist. I think it's beyond that, and we shouldn't deceive ourselves to limit it to that conversation alone. The whole conversation around Nnamdi Kanu is about IPOB and the way he went about it. Let him face. Look, for me, I don't want to take a position. It's a sensitive matter. I want him to have his day in court. Let evidence be provided. Is he a terrorist or not? If he is not, is it wrong? Is it illegal? Is it a crime to ask for self-determination? Is it a crime to say Nigeria is a zoo? Because I heard those things, I don't like it. But does that make it a crime? Is it a crime? So for me, let him have his day in court. Let them prove beyond reasonable doubt that he committed any treasonable offense against the Nigerian state that is the basis of them now calling him a terrorist. I doubt that can be proven. I doubt that they can prove it. And I think that the only outcome for this case is that the man is going to be released.
I have a lot of other questions I would have asked you, but let me
let you going to be released. They don't get choice. They don't have choice.
I get plenty of that question while I ask you, but your time don't dey fast to make I leave you. But just before I say make I pack my load now, here say the Abure-led team, they don't call some indefinite suspension on King
no.
on Alex Oti. They don't suspend everybody. They make everybody go. How do you see this drama going on? How this drama going like this?
Pure chaos. So the only solution to this thing is that the end of the what are they called, the national the interim committee, the caretaker committee, they need to go back to the Supreme Court fast. They need to go back to the Supreme Court fast for clarification of that order, for clarification of that judgment. They need that judgment has not resolved the matter, obviously. So if I were them, very quickly, and these things, Supreme Court will treat it by next week. In 2 weeks' time, we'll get a ruling from the Supreme Court again, clarifying what they meant.
Make everybody know where they're.
Let's know where we are so that we can stop all this drama once and for all. I beg, as if we're in school.
One of Nigeria's finest financial analysts and is the chairman of Accountability Counter in a civil society organization. You don't tell them before, guy. It's too much. God bless you. I know some people, they get plenty of questions when they want to ask you. They call me. But make a leave me run, except you won't stay back and answer their questions.
I have to go.
Me and Meg, we answer the question by ourselves. Thank you so much. I appreciate you big time. I hope someone will call you next time because he come answer us a bit.
I will be here. I will always be here.
Thank
Well
you
done
so
for the fantastic job you're doing.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
Yeah.
It's been. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, Nigerians phone lines are open. Let's begin to take your thoughts and reactions on all of this drama we play for inside our country today. And before I go begin, take your messages because message and awful. Hello, good evening, and welcome.
Hello,
sir. Welcome,
How
sir. I'm fine, thank you. How about you?
Very interesting gentleman that you have in your studio.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You are doing a brilliant job, wonderful job.
Thank you, sir.
It's unfortunate that I haven't supported you since last month I started watching you.
You haven't done what? You have not subscribed. Don't say that though. Follow me like your village people. Oh.
I know. I've followed you. I've started subscribing, but I think you need other support, you know.
I need what kind of support? Moral support.
What moral support? You're funny.
You won't give me more wisdom.
No, not so wisdom.
Okay.
You need something that to charge your card, charge your phone.
Oh, chim. Oh, now God go bless you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. So that means you want to add not just more grease to my elbow, but more water to my sweat. So that my water no go run dry. Thank you so much. But kindly jumping on any of the conversation. You won't react to any of the things we'll discuss today.
Definitely, I'm gonna react.
Go ahead.
I will react to one of the things you said. And the other guy, the man in the studio,
yes,
that just left.
Yes, Mr. Shepperton, go ahead.
All right, you made something. You made a comment that made me feel my belly made me just yori.
Yes, be that.
That comment you made regarding Obasanjo.
Okay.
This is something that I always, anytime I remember this, you know, right now, Obasanjo is very, very angry the way things are going. It's not comfortable the way things are going.
But you know, go feed do too much because now it's starting. No vex.
That's what I'm saying. If you wish, you can turn the table around again.
I don't get me wrong. I admire Obasanjo. But every time I have the opportunity to analyze the current Nigerian democracy, not the before one, I blame him for everything when it happened. Because he get the right to turn around, to set a good example, he no do him. Because he himself been get selfish interests. So now there I blame him.
It's one of the guys I like. It's like I love him so much. He's not a capitalistic man. That's one thing I like him for. So, but let me go straight to the main point now. You see.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, the area that I want to touch now is this. If Obasanjo had done what is called this that stop, had it been a stop issue of corruption in Nigeria? Because this corruption started from his own regime. And that is why, if ministers do whatever they like, National Assembly do whatever, money floating everywhere, uncontrolled, it is on time all this started. Now, it has gone to a certain level that cannot be controlled again. You understand? So the second one I want to talk again now is the gentleman there. He made mention of something about Nnamdi Kanu. Now, he said Southeast is not. We said we're in Nigeria.
He can't say Southeast. I've been want to ask him a lot of questions, but his time was already fast spent, so I had to run because the marginalization of Southeast, they're much more marginalized than other parts. But it's okay. Go ahead.
Go ahead. You know why?
Why?
Now, for the past during Buhari regime, Buhari did the whole realm around the whole Nigeria. But the Southeast was not captured.
Something where even there for inside 2025 budget, Southeast no be captured.
Buhari did his own. He didn't capture Southeast. Now, this guy again, have done his own again to the National Assembly. Nothing. Even the Igbo people, Southeast people were asking them, why are they? But let me tell you, Precious, do you know that Igbo State has the highest deposition of gas in Nigeria? Most of the resources comes from the southeast that they use. The people are not thinking that the data and the people only because so many people don't read. Many people there think that all these resources come from Niger Delta, this and that. No, Imo State, the position of caste in Imo State is such a very massive one that Nigerians are ignoring.
Thank you. 2 hours don't reach here. I won't close church. Make I go attend to other things. Come back by 9 o'clock. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Chibo, you want to say something? Mr. MOG. Mr. MOG. Mr. Mop.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Welcome. Good afternoon or good evening. I don't know what time is in Nigeria right now.
It's evening.
But anyway, I just want to comment about what some of the things Mr. Shegu said. I mean, some of them I disagree. I think he was economical when it comes to the truth, in reference to whether the Southeast is being marginalized. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, every part of Nigeria is being marginalized. But Southeast typically the most marginalized. We know what happened. So I don't really want to go into it. So he was wrong when it comes to that. Let me talk about Very Dark Man. I think the problem I have with the way he was arrested, because in a same country, you have to investigate and make sure somebody, do your own investigation.
You're preaching to the choir. That matter is very tiring. That's exactly what I think you did not join Mr. Shego and I earlier on when we were here at the earlier stage of the conversation. That's exactly what we addressed. Why did we put the carts before the horse and not the horse before the carts? Why it be like say with the drum? The right thing where a sane society could do now to make sure say they conduct the investigation. I'd always use hush puppy conversation, hush puppy matter, give example. Because see the way Igbo people follow, FBI follow hush puppy. They live and when they brandish everything when they brandish show. They follow up. In fact, the Simon Ekpa's case is even a recent one. Remember there was a time Finland invited him, ask him, they can't leave him again. Because they never get enough evidence. Now the time they get enough evidence, and they go back go hola. That's what happens in a sane society. You watch someone, you follow someone, and you follow and conny, and then you get all your investigation before you go ahead and apprehend the person. When the person no go feel run away again. Now, for inside Nigeria, be like saying that the words will come out of your mouth, now they used to use charge you. No be that is what they grill you with. That's what they charge you with. They do the investigation when they don't hold you. I'm sorry, sir, I take the talk for your mouth, Jerry. My dear brother, it's painful, but it is what it is. This is Nigeria.
Yeah. I mean, Nigeria needs certain kind of redemption. I mean, there's no part of Nigeria that is working. I mean, we have people here that come here and compare. I think there was another tape we played that somebody said Nigeria was better, in the early '60s. If you really talk about it to a certain degree, in terms of our per capita income, which is about 835 right now, compared to that time, like Mr. Sheikh said, about 93. 93 dollar or whatever. That do you know how much that is right now? That's more than $1,000 right now. I mean, you're up to 1,500 right now, but that notwithstanding, because of the population we have right now, and then I googled it a while ago. Nigerian life expectancy in the early 60s and 70s. It's about 40. It's about 40. It's about 40. Now it's about 65%. I mean, because of technology and medical and everything, so you can debate which one is better. But in a nutshell, Nigeria is not progressing. Okay, in any way. If you look, even the small countries, I think I told you, like a small country like Botswana. You just talk about the student loan. I mean, a small country with 22 million people, they have a free education. I mean, they have a free education. I mean, what is the purpose of this loan they are giving? I just consider everything to be a scam. Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
Rachel, I don't want to keep you. I know, you're going to come back during the evening time.
I
So
will
I'll
come
come back
back in
later.
the evening. I will
Okay.
come back in the evening. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Chiboy, you're here. Hello, good evening and welcome, Chiboy. Thank you, MOP. Chiboy, are you there? Chiboy. Okay, so let me quickly run through your messages because I'll be doing a lot of disservice if I do not run through messages. Freeman, you sent this message like a million times. Good evening, Pepper. Thank you so much. You sent a lot of messages, Freeman. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Hit the button. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank 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 you. You said free Nnamdi Kanu. You said it like so many times. I see all your messages and I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Freeman. Thank you very much. And see other messages. Tinubu and his cohorts are really poking the bear, my dear brother. I didn't see anything. Oh, okay. Why asking if the story is true when you know very well that? I know go ask. Hey, my job is to ask. Oh, I cannot know anything. 10% of what's happening now didn't even happen under the most dreaded Abacha regime. Talking about that, Charles Zuru, I see you. Thank you so much. I see you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And this says, Oga, is she a Nigerian student? Ha, that's a question, $1 million question. Charles Ritter says, Joe Biden's son was convicted and given a jail term. His father pardoned him. President children are not above the law. I agree. And the pardoning now, even when he won't come off office, towards the end of intern 9, he pardoned him. She just because Tinubu is president. Wow. Okay. And moving on. This government is destroying the institution of the country. That's what you said. The other one where you put another. You read them. What performance? Nigeria is the fourth economy in Africa, second country in the world with minority citizens. It's so insulting for anyone to say Tinubu is performing well. These people are deluded. It's actually very painful when you see statements like this and knowing the reality of what people they go through. Don't tell Abure suspension is fake news. Who told you? Uh, hmm. How is it people how is it possible that life was better in 1976 than now? I left Nigeria in 1976. I wire up to $300 monthly to my friend in Nsukka, so she doesn't even starve with her child. Oh, thank you. You're such an amazing friend. Well done. Thank you. Mr. Shegu making a lot of sense. Thank you so much. Mr. Shegu is one of a very brilliant and intelligent man. Joined together. Brilliant and intelligent joined together. Good day to your honorable, precious speakers. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Oyi one of we. The security purposes of the family of the president, but they do not behave like this and they do not have official titles. Now, waiting you talk with that. And Oyi1 says Nigeria was even better in the 70s and 80s. Even in the 90s, life was a bit better for people in the 90s. Thank you, Chooks. Moving on now, pressures for the issue of NANS. Tinubu wants to capture through shade. I don't want to read and finish. Oh, not vex you. And you guys had a lot of complaint about Jimo Ibrahim. I see you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for your messages. I'm so overwhelmed that I need to run along and handle other issues very quickly so that I can come back and get ready for the evening show. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys this evening. Don't worry, I'll shock you and I'll make sure I come here on time. I'll see you in the evening. I love you guys. Oyi1, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. And that surely we get a cup of coffee. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. I love you. I'll see you very, very soon. Let me quickly go grab myself a cup of coffee with the money that Oyi has dashed me, and then I'll come back again in the evening. Protect your mental health and don't miss me. God bless you. Let's keep fighting.